was that? What? What's that sound? Where? It's aliens and they're living in your town. Damn. They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town. Are you scared?
Hello, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. It's a Friday. It's loose. We're having fun. Everybody make some noise.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's fun to do it on a Friday.
Love doing it on a Friday. We got our audience, our studio audience. Make some noise. One person, which is great, consistent with our other audiences. How's everyone doing out there in Weirdo Land? How's everyone doing in here? Friday, feeling good?
Oh, jeez. It's the best.
Dennis, calm down, Dennis.
Yeah.
My gosh.
I'm trying to contain myself.
With that kind of enthusiasm, people they don't know what to do. Beckett, you strolled in here quite early today as you're texting at the intro and start of the show.
No, I was posted on Weird and Whatever Instagram. Plug.
Oh, I love it. It's good. I take back my aggressiveness. So, Vicki, we want to just jump right into some Ask Vickies.
Okay, jump.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. We got some Ask Vickies. Now, this is when you, the good people, ask some ghost-like paranormal type questions to our Vicki. Now, Vicki, if we got a new listener right now. Explain your credentials, if you don't mind.
My credentials are I have been a paranormal investigator since 2007. I've had my own team, Point Paranormal. Prior to starting my team, I did work for a TAPS affiliated team called Florida Ghost Team. And we primarily investigate residentials in order to find solutions for our clients so that they can have peace in their home. And I am also a psychic medium. Now, I didn't realize I was a psychic medium until about 2013, I guess it was. And then I just started doing that as well.
What do you sense with me? Do I got some shit on my mind right now?
You always have shit on your mind.
You ain't lying.
You always got a bunch of things like jumble. You're like juggling in there.
Oh, yeah. She ain't lying, Beckett. The one question someone had I thought was pretty interesting. Are adults who remain virgins more likely to experience ghost or spirit-like activity? I read somewhere that it has to do with being pure. Does this ever play a factor with goat-type experiences and behaviors?
I haven't.
Well, we know you know virgins. We know you like to keep it humping and thumping, Beckett. Does that have anything to do with it? The purity of a ghost-like activity?
I'm not sure I investigated anybody's house who was a virgin, so I can't really give accurate data on that.
But is there a correlation to virgin, purity, spiritualism? I'm going to give an example. There's a 1980, I think 85 movie called Monster Squad. Very, very underrated, great movie. Do you remember that, Vicki?
Duncan Regehr was the vampire.
Yeah,
He's got a famous
nards.
line.
Yeah. So the whole the
Loosely rated, by the way, that movie.
It is loosely rated. Denny's is right. That movie I think was PG or maybe PG-13, but they're talking about virgins and they're bringing 8-year-old girls into the mix.
Well, he calls that one 8-year-old girl. He goes, "You bitch."
Yeah, and the whole part of that was the purity of the virgin. Does that at all? I mean, you've never heard of anything like that when it comes to the spiritual afterlife, any of that?
I've never seen any evidence. In fact, it's the opposite. Usually people who are a little more on the dysfunctional side will attract dysfunctional spirits.
What are you saying, Vicki?
I don't know. Your house is full.
It's interesting. So I renamed my boat, and you had to do a renaming ceremony, and it's bad luck to rename a boat unless you go through this whole process, and I had to put urine from a virgin. So I took my dog's pee and used it in the ceremony. You have to put it on the bow of the boat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have heard things where the virgin purity is involved in something, but you're talking
Virgin Mary.
Yeah, the Virgin Mary. What's your thoughts on the Virgin Mary, Vicki? Let's delve into religion right on the top of a Friday podcast.
Heavy stuff.
Then
quick.
we can talk about the war.
Yeah.
No, I kid. All right, very good, Vicki. I think she answered it. You just don't know.
I just don't know. I don't have enough data to make an educated opinion on it.
Can a ghost have a ghost baby? For example, I'm dead. I'm walking around as a ghost. I find another ghost. We hit it. We like each other. And she gets preggers. Possible? Or, bird. That's a silly question.
Bird, that's a silly question.
Well, it's not mine.
No, I've never seen any evidence of that. But on the other side, you can pick up children or other relationships. So there could be a child on the other side that maybe their parent isn't on the other side yet, and they may gravitate towards somebody, and they could have a parental role without actually getting knocked up.
Are you saying it's impossible though for a ghost to have a baby?
I have no problem going out on a limb and saying, yeah, I think that's pretty impossible.
I'm gonna kind of go off on a little bit of a darker question, and it's not to trigger anybody, but let's say a baby was aborted or a baby was lost in miscarriage. Now, I'm not equating it to being the same thing, but I'm saying, a baby passes away before the baby comes to Earth. Can that baby have a spirit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of times, depending on the situation, especially in a situation like with a miscarriage, that child is actually allowed to grow up on the other side. And typically, they're going to be one of the people to come for their parent when it's their parent's time to go to the other side.
Now, is that something where there's a time threshold? Is it as soon as the baby is, in the old oven, as they say? When would it? All right, talk about getting heavy. And
I've had readings with people who have miscarried as early as, I think she was like 12 weeks.
Okay.
And I saw first of all, I was able to determine the sex before she told me, and then I saw the progression of them growing up and getting older.
Denny, did you hear a story like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's something to consider when you hear it. I mean, it makes it, you hate to say anything. I'm just saying, it makes it seem way more believable.
All right, Vicki, let's move on to the next question. Ask Vicki, can ghosts bully other ghosts? Is there and I wrote this note down, kind of like if you watch The Sopranos, there's a pecking order of, Tony, and then there's the guy underneath him. The email was quite lengthy, but the person's having experiences at their house where they can't get to sleep because they hear this one ghost talking down and bullying another ghost, and the other ghost is saying, "Come on, stop it, leave me alone." And according to the email, it's two dudes, and one of them is picking on the other one, almost kind of as if it's on loop. They said, now the verbiage is different every night, but it's the same scenario where the one spirit is totally
another.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can have that situation. And I mentioned before we bought my house, my daughter took a recorder upstairs, and we have two males, and one of them very forcefully tells the other one, "Get out," because he didn't want them to be seen while we were doing our walkthrough for our house. Absolutely. Especially, I think you're going to find that more with an earthbound spirit than you are one that's crossed over and come back.
For people who are just tuning in that have never heard about, what's an earthbound spirit?
An earthbound spirit is someone who has passed away and they did not go to the other side. Now, most people, when they pass away, they go to the other side and then they're given options. They may want to come back here in visitation. They may want to stay on the other side. And people who are not so great, they have to do some classroom work first, and then they're allowed their freedoms. An earthbound spirit chose not to cross over at the time of death.
Now, what is the difference between an earthbound spirit? You've brought it up about my house. You think what I have here is not human. What is that to the people who don't know?
Well, if it's not human, obviously it's not something that's been to the other side and back. We have things called elementals. There's some people that I think have misdiagnosed elementals and called them demonics and things like that. One of the things that you might have here is something that has never walked in human form on this earth. It's always been in the form it's in.
So what is that then? Is it a creature? People are going to ask, well, what is Vicki talking about? She's being awfully cryptic. Is that an animal? Is that a half-beast?
I call them nature spirits. I think they're all pretty much of the same thing. If you go back and look at folklore from the beginning of time, we have had nature spirits, fairies, gnomes, all of those things in our different cultures. And, they got ignored for a really long time because people used to believe in them and now they don't. And that's when they started getting a little mischievous, a little bitchy, decided to start wreaking some havoc.
Damn, I've never heard you explain it that way. Have you, Beckett?
No, it's interesting.
Back in the day, the gnomes, the warlocks, the witches, all of that stuff, they kind of got their shine. And now people are like, fuck the gnomes, fuck them fairies.
Yeah.
Right. And when I come across nature spirits, sometimes they will immediately like try to scare me or show themselves in like a really creepy form. And then I look at them long enough and I'm like, okay, I know what you are. And then they will go back to their normal form.
Now, the naysayer's going to go, all right, Vicki, that's all great. In La La Land, very, very good fiction you've got over there. So why can't we see them in regular form? Why is it always just a spirit form? What would they be in regular form? Or are they always just existing on that weird spiritual plane?
Well, it depends on what type of nature spirit they are. One of the reasons they present themselves scary to begin with is a lot of them, like I said, they've been ignored, so they're really pissed off. So they kind of want to be left alone to do their thing, to do whatever they need to do. So when I come across them, they try to initially scare me in order for me not to delve into what they really are. And then that doesn't work, so then I look and I'm able to see them and what their intention is.
Denny's, fairies, warlocks, pixies,
Well,
thoughts.
it makes sense that, when everyone believed in it, they'd be more powerful because then it's a belief system that's going on. So, I mean, I do. But you think about it now. No one believes really in elementals. That's
Right.
rarely ever brought up.
Do you believe in fairies? Do you think that there's legit fairies roaming around these parts?
I think they all fall under the umbrella that I call nature spirits. And there's different ones.
Yeah, I mean, Celtic folklore is very heavily fairy-based.
Let's go to the handsome skeptic. Thoughts?
I was gonna make a joke, but I
Baby, don't let me stop that flow. Get it out there.
I don't know, because how we talk about psychic abilities, and if you're kind of turned off to it, you can't receive it. We've
Yes.
talked about that. So to your earlier point, I think if society and culture kind of turns its back to it, then maybe we're just not aware of it because we're out of tune with it, if that makes sense.
It always comes back down to my autopilot theory. I really do feel like there's an autopilot issue with humans. I'm so guilty of it where we, just go on auto. We
Go through the motions.
We go through bouts of it. There's times where I'm on it, man. I'm present. I know that I need to be present, and then I go through this odd thing where you start getting into autopilot. And it's not that you're sad, it's not that you're happy, you're just kind of in a numb autopilot state. And to me, that's the worst. I'd rather be sad than an autopilot.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
song, I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all.
Well, you're limbo
Fine,
instead
Beckett.
of a definitive thing.
Exactly. I hate
Limbo's the worst.
Limbo. Now, Vicki, would you say limbo is a state of mind that can attract spirits, or would full-on sadness attract more? I find when I'm in limbo, that almost kind of brings on a different type of opening to certain things.
I think both of them are dangerous to put yourself in those moods because both of them are going to attract things. I think limbo, I don't know, limbo might lead you down a different path than one that's being attracted to your sadness.
Elaborate?
I think sadness, depending on their goal, like say you're taking something that's not human, their goal may be to get you deeper in your sadness to the point where you want to hurt yourself or you want to hurt others because there's nothing there. Limbo may lead you not as destructive of a path that they're leading you on, but it could get you into dangerous things as well. Either one of them, I wouldn't recommend being in those moods.
And it's probably, too, a spectrum of the combination of what the person has in them, the situation of whatever spirit's taunting them, and kind of every situation has its own elements you have to really kind of examine.
But it would probably be harder for the spirit to get your attention when you're in limbo because you're going through the motions.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
You're just like
tuned
tunnel
off from
vision,
it.
yeah. So it would be probably a little bit harder, but if they get a hold of you, it could be just as destructive.
What does a Ryan Beckett, a Sweet Denny's, a Vicki, what do you all do when you are noticing I'm stuck in autopilot, I'm stuck in limbo? Is there a thing you do to get out of that?
Do something I'm afraid of. It's the number one thing.
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca was it. Run the Grand Canyon. I could go on, but like I got to get something.
You fucking
I'll stop
You
right there.
had to throw in, ayahuasca, run the Grand Canyon, lift the jungle,
I
and
like-
the Amazon.
I like to do
You
I like
dick.
to I like to do crazy shit. But the honest answer is because I kind of get bored of my career, So
Sure.
it's like my pressure release valve, and it makes me, as cheesy as it sounds, it makes me feel alive, because I go through season, you know, you can only sell so many houses or condos, and you know they blur together, and you're kind of like, yeah, like
I make fun of you about, you know, you flying to the Amazon, you riding zebras in a peaceful way, not in an inhumane way.
No animals were harmed.
No animals were harmed. But no, I think everyone's version, not everyone's going to go fly to another country and do adventurous shit, but everyone can have a version of what that is. You know what I mean?
I guess my point is I take myself in my comfort zone is what I do. Like that's the main goal. Whatever that might be, and you could do that on a small scale in an hour, or you could do that on a big trip or whatever. There's all different kinds of ways you can take yourself out of your comfort zone. And cheesy as it also says, I really believe you grow when you go outside of your comfort zone.
I always get nervous if I'm feeling... And part of it, I think, is my upbringing, because we were just a paranoid. The Penningtons are paranoid people, so you never really fully enjoy a moment. You always feel like, oh, this is great. Someone's capping me in the back of the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is something I think can affect somebody's mood. But when it comes to all of this stuff, I think to your point, when you are living in that autopilot world, shake it up. You may not want to go to another country, like I was saying, but you may go to Orlando. We never go to Orlando to go to a theme park. You've always wanted to go to Disney. You never. That's shaking it up.
Yeah, you got to shake it up.
Vicki, what do you do to shake it up?
Travel, but like to me, I really like road trips.
Road
I just
trips are
like,
great.
the companionship in the car
process.
and looking at everything as you're getting there. You know, the journey's just as fun as the destination.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Even better.
Anytime I'm away from whatever, you know, your regular day life, and you have to go outside your comfort zone, if you have to go travel, especially if I'm on a plane, it feels, there's always a spiritual side to that. The thinking gets real deep, and I think because you're forced to, if you're on a plane, you're kind of forced to be sort of unplugged from the world. I know that they're making that.
You're detached a little bit. Yeah, now they added internet. There's so much stuff to do
you can
now.
still be fucking plugged in on a plane.
Totally.
I know it sounds again cheesy, but I live just south of the flight path in West Palm Beach, and often the way the planes take off is they're taking off. So I sit out back with a toddy or whatever, and I watch all these commercial airlines take off from PBI. And I think it's pretty
kinda cool.
because I'm watching 300 people every 15 minutes going on a new adventure, whether it's a business trip
every time
or
you're in a plane, you look down and you wonder what people are thinking.
exactly.
Well, there's a romantic side to it, no?
Yeah,
just kind of
mysterious.
a mystery.
Yeah.
Are they going to Italy? Is there somebody
Yeah.
that are new lovers on the plane?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be anyone on a plane.
Yeah, snakes. Give me
Snakes on a plane.
Mother.
Absolutely.
I have Ask Vicki if that's okay.
Yeah, bring it on.
So one of the things I've been pondering, so I was wondering if someone has a dog and they have, they walk the earth and then they pass, I think of when someone communicates with the dog on this earth, it's like a Mr. Doolittle kind of situation. But with your abilities, is it easier to communicate to a dog in the afterlife than it is the real life because it's in spirit form?
Huh.
That's interesting. I typically only read living animals, not ones that are on the other side.
Okay.
So I can't, again... Boy, this Ask Vicki's not going too great tonight.
I disagree. I think it sparks great conversation.
I can't give an educated opinion on that, but because I only communicate with the living ones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but typically when I've seen spirit animals.
Right.
I didn't really talk to them though.
Yeah,
They didn't
fair
have
enough.
much to say.
People wanted an update on anything new at my house with the ghost stuff.
No, we went through all the footage, and with the exception of when the curtain moved twice. There isn't anything. We do have those voices from the spirit box. I sent you a whole bunch of them. And I have this nagging feeling that I missed something. You know, that feeling in the back of it's just like bugging me. I'm like, did I blink at some point? Did I sneeze? Did something happen? And I missed something because something keeps telling me you missed something.
Something new's been going on.
Okay.
Something's been grabbing me, more of where I'm feeling it, and something is definitely, as they say in the business, Beckett, coming in from the rear. It's coming back from behind the couch more than it has been, and something's poking me and touching me. So
The old reach around?
The old reach around. yeah. And they're really going for it, Becky.
Like it came out from behind the curtain, I guess.
Well, I don't know, and of course, the naysayer, or the skeptic, or the hater would go, "Oh, it's brilliant, Bird. Of course, that was where the main footage was." Yeah, I 110% agree with you. I will just say this: something's grabbing me. So my suggestion would be, there's no reason why we can't do another setup.
Right.
Let's do another setup.
I had an idea. It's just it'll cost money.
All right.
Hi, Ryan. Would you like to donate to Point?
Yeah, because I want to do my house anyways.
Okay,
1926.
So here's what I want. There's a fairly inexpensive DVR system that comes with 4 wireless cameras that, as long as it's hooked up to your internet, I can watch remotely.
Oh, wow. That's
boy.
amazing.
Not only that, it will record on the hard drive, and it'll record and store up to 30 days. So I would have to dump it every 30 days. So we would still have it on the hard drive. We could put it on a
Make a
flash
reality
drive or
show.
something.
Yeah, let's do it.
So-
I'll flip the bill. Just tell me how much it is,
Okay,
and I'll just get it.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
$10,000.
Well, let's.
No,
we
no.
have to reevaluate. Yeah, you're right. What am I doing, Bird?
No, it's very reasonable. It's $200.
Oh, done. We got it. Yeah,
200.
just send it to me. We'll do
Okay.
that. We do want to do a weird and whatever field trip where we can invite the good weirdos who listen to this program and do a meet and greet. I'm very excited to do something like that.
Yeah.
I know my
Yeah.
buddy's got a pierogi restaurant. I love pierogies. Maybe we can meet out there. It's in the Gardens area, I believe.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Summer's approacheth.
we'll talk. I know a lot of people want to meet the panel, as they say. I think with real quick, Vicki. Now that you're on the hot seat, you were ranting, and we won't go in what you were ranting. Vicki's a teacher, and I've dated a few teachers, so it's always fun to hear what teachers rant about, because I know they rant a lot. They always have problems with the principal.
I don't anymore. Thank goodness.
That's good.
Thank
That's
goodness.
good. Not always. I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna get a fucking email. Why are you fucking saying that? No, but you were ranting about some stuff, and it made me think of, do teachers still do this? I know teachers don't do a lot of shit because they're always afraid of getting in trouble. No,
Some, yeah.
Nowadays.
Not me.
we had a teacher that it was the marble game, and if you were behaving well, you would get a marble. A marble equaled 1 minute of recess time. So you would get up to 12 minutes on a Tuesday. Like, holy shit, we're going to be playing for 12 minutes at least on Friday. And kids were all jacked up about it. And if we were dicks, they'd take the marbles away.
Man.
You're like, oh, fuck, man. Johnny was talking shit, just took away 3 marbles. But it was almost a gamble, a rush.
Interesting.
Then if somebody did something great, 10 marbles in there. Natasha did this, 10 marbles. So by Friday afternoon, you could have up to, 60 marbles, or you could have 6. Do teachers still do that shit? And if they don't, why not? That really got kids to behave.
Reward system.
Yeah, the reward system's there. You can't use recess as a reward because it's state mandated that the kids have 30 minutes of recess every day.
So they
They
it.
get it automatically. So you have to find another way to play mind tricks on them.
But this was an extra. This was you still had the PE shit. You were still-
Normally.
yeah, this was that extra Friday.
Friday,
fuck
you get
yeah.
extra. For being good, you get extra 15 minutes on your recess.
We're talking
program.
freedom to go on the swings, Beckett. We're gonna slide it up.
Yeah, at Pope we get instead of like the starchy, really uncomfortable button-down shirt, you got to wear the polo shirt. That's when you're real cool.
I mean,
It's comfortable and cotton.
Oh, yeah.
a Friday pizza party was a big fucking deal
Huge
as a
deal.
kid.
Those were great.
With the TV with the big strap on it, when that came in the classroom, you knew it was a good day.
They wheel it in. Tie the strap so it doesn't tear.
Oh yeah, what was messed up? Some teachers back at my old school, if you got your name on the board at all during the week, you were thrown out of the pizza party, and then you would have to sit with your back against the wall and watch all the other kids eat pizza
Damn.
as you sat there. Dog, the 80s were tough.
They poured water out on you.
Oh yeah, food right in their faces.
Nah, I could never do. Now, if we were having a party, all the kids always ate. I didn't have the heart to ever keep food. But if you were a dickhead, you were the last one to get your pizza.
Damn.
But
you
make
still
'em
got
wait.
it.
To me, that's nothing.
That's
You're
great.
still
Make 'em
getting your
sweat.
food. But yeah, you would sit your back against the wall watching other kids enjoy cookies. And maybe you were asking for a pencil, Beckett, and the teacher called, why are you talking, Jaybird? Oh, I was asking Beckett for your name's on the board. Done from the pizza party.
Yeah.
Happened one time. I wasn't allowed. Devastated.
Now, see, I never had anything like that. Basically, when I was a regular classroom teacher, here's the rules, follow the rules, period. And I usually didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do points. Now, if I had my kids seated like 4 in a group, they could do group points, and then the group at the end of the day could earn something extra, or they could earn, I used to read out of, I had like short story Goosebump book that had ones that were just enough for me to read out loud. It wasn't a whole chapter book. And so if everybody was behaving, they got to have, reading time, me read those. And we always had like kickball games extra on Friday and stuff like that. But those were the good old days. It's very hard to find things you can do now.
Oh, man. Get a little super sliced pizza on a Friday, then a pizza party with a little Judy Blume super fudge, maybe a chapter.
That's where they did it. You would get books, you would eat pizza. They did it, and you sometimes would watch like a Reading Rainbow or something. They could always entice kids with some sort of program that they'd play at the end.
Take a look.
It's in a book.
It's reading the rainbow.
I can do anything.
My kids watch Goosebump movies, by the way.
Denny's is a big Goosebump fan.
Well, so I read a lot. I mean, geez, you try to say you read all of them, but when I was younger, I tried to keep up with them. The guy went crazy and made like 75, and then they sold it to another company that made it 75 more, so it was impossible to keep up with.
It's like, dude, slow it down, man.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I'm freaking dying.
Isn't Goosebumps what you have framed in your house?
I did. So what I did, I have a ton of the first 20 Goosebumps. I thought it'd be kind of cool. I'm not gonna read them, so I put them up as art. So I put them in a like a frame, and then I sectioned them off. So each one's divided by 10 by 10. The first 20.
That's interesting. That's a cool idea.
I know I'm gonna sound like an immature prick over here, but
book wall.
I'm telling you what. I really highly recommend everybody to buy something that they had in their past when they were a kid that they loved, even if it's a small little doll or a truck or whatever, and just put it in a little section at your house. I'm telling you, it's fun. It's good for the spirit. It's good for the soul. I see you shaking your head, Vicki.
Yeah, I am so upset because when I moved, I don't have a lot of bookshelves or even places to put them, and I have all my Nancy Drews.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, those are cool.
It's fun.
And I really miss they're in a box.
I was really into Hardy Boys.
Yeah, that was another
really
fun.
cool.
Choose your own.
Really
So
cool.
wouldn't that be cool? You had a little section at your house. You had the Hardy Boys book section. Oh, cool. There's my childhood
Totally.
books.
But that said,
Buy those books tonight, Beckett.
I still sleep with the pillow I was born with. Like
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
My brother does a similar.
It smells
thing.
like comfort, and I
And semen.
I'm glad you threw that second syllable in there.
But I'm the guy that doesn't like pillows. Like I have to sleep on my shoulder, then the pillow's too high, and it's like this little square.
Oh man, if I could ever interview an object, I'd want to interview that. I'd want to interview that pillow.
It's got Mario Brothers on it in the Mario Kart, and then my great grandma recovered it when I was young. It's got a little loop on it, so I could carry it around on my wrist when I went back and forth. It's the coolest pillow ever.
That's awesome.
I bet it is, Beckett.
That's my pillow.
By the way, Bird, you get bonus points because you said Judy Blume.
Judy Blume,
love Judy Blume.
all-time favorite author. Anytime anyone, so what do you read? I'm a big Judy Blume fan.
You
I
do.
love Tales
Did you
of-
read any of the adult ones?
As adult,
How
as
adult does it get?
as
Oh
a-
no, she has adult novels. Yeah.
I got Vicky. I got as adult as when the one girl Margaret got her period.
Oh,
no,
geez.
And it kind of fucked with my head. Nothing against period. Don't email me about that. Oh, there's a story that goes behind that book, the period.
Right.
Yeah, that's why the book.
Are you
freaked
there,
me-
God? It's me, Margaret.
That's what it is. Yeah, I was a Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing and a Freckle Juice fan. Freckle Juice. If y'all got kids and you've never read your kid, I would say what ages 8 to 10.
I used to read it to my third graders.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when they read it to me. Freckle Juice got me into wanting to read.
That one stuck with you because you always reference that one.
It's odd.
I can't find the picture.
It's odd.
Yeah, my kids used to have to make their own recipe for freckled juice after he read it. I'd give them little recipe cards, and they'd have to put all the gross stuff and make their own recipe.
See, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about, Beckett. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see potions and shit made in elementary school. That's
I get
fun.
it, dog.
Yeah.
I hope they're still doing it.
All right, well, Denny's is awfully lippy now, so I think with
Yeah.
that said,
right.
it's time for some
Denny's Random Facts.
Oh, sweet Denny's gives us some factoids, and he works hard.
Oh, I mean, all week.
He goes, he hunts, he's a hunter.
Every day I do a different fact and like compile them all together.
He's a truth hunter. Vicky, She likes to grade. She's an educator. If it's great, he gets an A. If it sucks, she's known to throw an occasional F. I think one F has been around.
Gotten my
There's
share.
a couple. There's a couple.
Yeah,
of them.
okay, I'm glad we brought that up, but yeah, there's a couple.
He's gotten the D a few times.
Oh, we heard.
He's gotten the D.
We
I
heard.
don't know about that. Denny's got the D. Sweet Denny's, the floor is
All
yours.
right. Well, so I found this fact and I thought it was cool, but I'm also bringing it up because we were kind of talking about getting outside your comfort zone, adventure, and such. So I'm going to stem this into my next point. But so just using the math that there is a restaurant on every block in New York City. There's 120,000 different blocks in New York City. One table did a study, and the data implies that a person could eat at a different restaurant once every day for 22.7 years without ever repeating a place.
That's great.
I love that.
I was thinking, this would be such a cool concept. I just thought of if you were trying to do something or shake it up. What if every day for a year you just ate at a different restaurant? There's so many in Palm Beach. You could eat at a different place every day.
Every single
Take
day.
a photo.
You could. You could absolutely do that for a good
Port
4.
St. Lucie to
Yeah.
Miami, all the way down to the Keys if you wanted to get adventurous, or even go west.
What a fun experiment that I don't think is done.
I don't think anyone's done it. I read that stat and I was like, why hasn't anyone really done this?
Look at this. Do a podcast on a Friday night. We bring out some fucking genius shit.
Like a Christopher Columbus of cuisine.
Yeah, every day you take a photo at a different restaurant. Like
It
whatever.
could be any kind of. It could be at a McDonald's.
Any
It could
restaurant.
be at a Burger King. But then it could be at it's a different establishment
Has to be
where
different.
you pay money at. Denny's, you're on to something here, kid. Let's talk after this.
All right, I'll have my people talk to your people.
Our people are very close.
Which is actually just Ponton over here.
Our audience. Vicky, what do you think?
Well, just the excitement that he stirred with this, has to have an A.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be Denny's. I'm buzzed off my ass. I'm gonna be excited about everything.
Oh, I hear you. But I thought that'd be a cool, especially if somebody's trying to just switch it up and do something different. That's so easy to do, and that would switch it up.
And if you I know that the first knock's gonna be, oh, isn't that expensive? Man, I went to the grocery store today. Holy shit!
Everything's expensive.
And I went to the more fancier one, the confusing store. I won't say any names, but it's confusing groceries.
Heard.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about.
It's holy shit, that was expensive. I mean, if you
So
is it that much different?
Without making any adjustment to my life whatsoever, things overall are just much more expensive. I've just noticed it going over my expenses that at the end of the month or, when I'm going through, I just spend more without even adjusting anything to my life. I think we're just in a time where everything's very expensive.
I bought $9 croissant bread today.
Oh, wow.
It's sliced croissant bread, Vicky. It's like Texas style, but it was $9
That's so much.
But it got me at croissant bread.
Well,
I
yeah.
had to be involved in it.
I
Was it
saw
worth
those.
it?
I haven't tried it.
They're
and
for
I,
after the podcast.
I haven't been. I've been thinking about it all out. The whole prep for weird and whatever. Oh man, croissant bread. It was expensive, but baby, it looks like a fun ride.
That's great.
I'm gonna make you all croissant grilled cheese after this.
I like it.
I think there's only 4 slices. It's kind of expensive.
We'll cut it into 8 slices. We'll share it.
Vicky, did you give the grade?
Doing
Oh, God.
Yeah, I gave him an
Here's-
A.
So what do you guys think about this? And I looked into it, and it's true. In 1889, the pharmaceutical company Bayer created and sold a drug called diacetylmorphine, which was marketed as a remedy for morphine addicts. In 1898, the name heroin was trademarked and began to be commercially produced by Bayer. They derived the name from the German word Heroschisch, which means strong, heroic. It even has derived the word heroin, a female. But so Henrik Dresser, the creator, was trying to beat another pharmaceutical competitor who was using opium to make a drug called codeine. So in the early 1900s, the creator, Henrik Dresser, mixed heroin and cough syrup, marketed it as a medicine for treating respiratory problems, which is what codeine was known for at the time, bronchitis, tuberculosis, and marketed heroin as having no toxic effects and not being addictive. And that was its major advantage over its rival, which is codeine, which was very addictive. Unfortunately, none of that was true, and in 1913, they had to ban all uses of heroin.
Ooh.
Bayer, the pharmaceutical company, created it. Crazy, right?
Well, it's Friday and you made my drink strong enough for me to have lost focus
I hear you. There's a lot in there to unpack.
during his really long.
There's a lot in there to unpack.
Damn, Vicky said, "Get the fuck off the stage."
I had to go through all the notes though, because there's a lot to unpack in there.
Do we need to have one of those sound effects where if you're going on too long, we start hearing to play off the stage?
Yeah.
Danny, I was hanging on
You
every
can
word.
thank heroin. You can thank Bayer's for heroin, the pharmaceutical company.
Well,
To Vicky's point, about 3/4 in, I was going, "Oh, croissant bread."
I get it.
No, I'm
but
just kidding.
they originally sold it as the strongest cough syrup, and that's why they named it after the German word meaning strong and heroic. Heroin is derived from that. It was a competitor to codeine. So random. You guys don't think it's crazy that a company made heroin, the drug that the pandemic or the epidemic started with? I'm just saying.
That's just what I'm saying.
I figure birds just win.
When no one says anything and you have to keep talking, it's a horrible feeling.
When you have to sell it.
Oh,
That blew my mind.
I can always tell when just a terrible moment's about to happen on the morning show because I'm talking, go, it's Virginia's way quiet. Kevin's, they're just...
It's definitely not a Virginia fact. That one.
Vicky?
Oh,
Damn.
I'm stuck between a C and a D.
Give him the D.
C minus.
Nice. I live in the between.
You avoided the D.
Cheers to sweet Denny's.
Saluda.
All right, here. This will be a shorter one for you guys here. The human fingers are so sensitive that they can feel an object of 13 nanometers in size. So to put that in perspective, that means if one finger was the size of the Earth, it could differentiate the feeling between a house and a car.
Wow.
That's how sensitive a finger, the nanometers measurement.
Damn. If you are just listening to the audio, let me describe Vicky's face and what it's doing. She's giving him a lot of side eye.
Side eye?
Side eye. There's a roll. If Vicky's face was an emoji, it's the one where the fuck you, I'm rolling my eyes. Whatever that one. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so you shortened it at least. So I was able to focus through the whole thing. But it's a C.
This is the roast of Denny.
Oh, man. All right, let's
Becky,
see.
you're seeing a bloodbath here.
I know. Got
Let's
the popcorn.
Let's see about this one. So this might be a common business story. I haven't heard it, but it's at least interesting. When Southwest in the 1990s tried to change their motto to just plain smart, they found out that a much smaller company was already using it. So they immediately went into a legal battle. But after a long-standing dispute, the CEO of Southwest and Stevens Aviation decided, you know what, we're just going to settle this with a good old-fashioned arm wrestling match. So they got both companies together, filmed it, and they arm wrestled for the slogan.
Who won?
The one that won was Stevens Aviation, the smaller guys.
Ah, nice.
But you can watch that back on YouTube. But yeah, that's how they settled a gigantic business dispute. I got Beckett with the business.
I like it.
I love it,
Let
Denny.
him give me the grade.
I love it, Denny. Vicky's got me in stitches tonight. I like Dicky Vicky.
Oh, yeah.
I like
Sassy Vicky.
Give him the grade.
Give him the grade, Becky. Vicky can't even give it.
I give it a B+. I like it.
Look at that. Denny's
I'm
A.
taking over the grading.
We're splitting the grading amongst everyone. I'll take an average.
You got anything else now? You wanna give us one more? Really?
I don't know. I was going to talk about hippopotami, but I don't know about that.
Hippos.
Hippo. I might not talk about it. I'm kidding.
That's good.
Thanks.
Hey, say some of that for Thursday.
I will. All right. I wrote that down, actually. I don't know. What do you guys
Yeah,
want?
we want one more.
Oh,
Yeah, come
all
on.
right.
You can't drop hippopotamus and leave.
I threw it out there to see what happened. Well, so they say that hippopotamus. I'll show up a photo just.
By the way, big fan of the hippo world.
So they say hippopotamus have pink milk. Everybody's heard that rumor, probably. It was a common rumor, pink milk, right? Well, so I guess to an extent it is kind of true, but it's also not true because the reason it looks pink is that hippos sweat blood. And the term is called blood sweat, which is what they do. And so when they start secreting sweat, usually while nursing with their kids, the blood will mix in with the milk, creating
Oh my
pink
gosh.
milk.
So this ain't strawberry milk. This is blood milk.
yeah,
gosh.
it looks nice and pink and frothy, but that is blood up in there.
Oh, and he's got a
gosh.
picture.
Well, I mean, somebody photoshopped a hippo
Oh,
in
jeez.
there.
I'm like, how do they get that hippo in that office?
He looks hungry.
But yeah, hippos sweat blood. It's weird. It's just they just sweat it, so then it leaks into all their stuff.
Was that a Hungry Hungry Hippo joke,
Yes,
Beckett? Okay,
yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember the theme song to Hungry Hungry Hippo?
I remember the
It's
game.
like hungry, hungry hippo.
I don't know if,
wasn't it?
I don't know
Hungry Hungry Hippo.
I thought that was
Hungry,
it.
Hungry Hippo.
So our parents bought me and my brother that game, and we were so excited to play it. So Saturday morning, we woke up at like 5 a.m. And if you've ever played that game, it's the loudest fucking game ever. My
Vicky-
parents came out and kicked it and went back to bed.
You a fan of Hungry Hungry Hippo?
It was actually a game that I would have played,
Yeah.
because I'm anti-game. So,
Really?
Yeah, I hate
Oh,
games.
man.
You know what throws me off about hippos is I feel like Mother Nature, whoever the master creator that people believe in, is usually when things are dangerous, they're scary.
Yeah.
Right? Looking, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like nature's way to be like, all right, watch out for that snake. Watch
There's
out.
colorful snakes.
Watch out for that lion. They're scary.
Yeah.
Hippos look cute.
And they
but
kill
they're,
so
they're
many.
one of the most aggressive animals out there.
Am I the only one that thinks a hippo's face reminds me of like very rare roast beef?
I can see that.
Yeah, they got roast beef snout. No?
I don't know
I
if they
lost the
remind
room
me.
on
They
roast
remind
beef
me.
snout?
They remind me of like foam seats at Chuck E. Cheese, where they're kind of puffy.
They're like a
kinda-
walking manatee to me.
Yeah, I can see that. You put
Yeah.
legs on a manatee.
Oh, I'm a
Seco.
fan. I'm a big fan of T.
I love them.
I feel so bad that the manatees they're struggling, man. They're struggling
struggling.
to survive, and it sucks because they're so docile and peaceful, man.
They're just chewing around or swimming around,
They're chewing around too.
chewing
they
around,
chew a lot of
living on
stuff.
grass, or like a Denny's in the water.
Man, when I was a kid, just in North Palm here, northern part of the county, you'd go over to that park out there in North Palm, right off US 1, and you would see manatees galore. The
Yeah.
babies, the mamas, the papas, all around the pier. Man, you don't ever see it anymore. It's so sad. I love me some fucking manatees.
You actually have to go to the observation area over by the FPNL plant by Peanut Island because the water's warm there, and they have like a whole like little manatee observatory. It's pretty cool.
Manatees, turtles, super peaceful.
What's the intelligence level on the intelligence level on a manatee?
On a scale of 1 to 10,
Well, just on are they more? Are they just kind of
Like
like?
squirrel to lion? What are we measuring?
We're going. Maybe I'd say lizard to lamb,
So
or
they're a
possibly owl to octopus.
they're a mammal, so they're pretty intelligent. I don't know how intelligent they are.
I'm
But
not saying they're
looking it
going to take a
up.
math test, but
Yeah.
are they? Dolphins are so
freaky.
present
Freaky
and
smart.
freaky.
They're-
That's what makes them so present.
They're the only other animal we're aware of that has sex for pleasure.
Vicky, what
The dolphin you're talking, right?
The dolphin.
Yeah, yeah.
the team and the animal. Vicky, you're an educator. Do you? Let's fact check Beckett here. Do you know of this? Dolphins, the only ones that love to get their freak on.
Well, I would say if anybody on this podcast knows that to be a fact, it would be him.
true.
So I'm not going to argue with it.
It's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's almost hack at this point. There's so many dolphin stories about them trying to fuck people, how they are always fucking. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They
Dennis,
say
great,
they're pretty intelligent.
Really intelligent.
great job.
The
on
manatees
getting
and the
rid of
dolphins.
facts.
And you end with an A.
Look at that.
There you go.
Great job,
So
kid.
heroin was made by bears. We're just recapping here real quick.
You did good, kid. You did real good. Dear Weird and Whatever, someone at work put a curse on me, and it's working. This is all because I got a promotion over her. My life has turned to shit since I got this new position. My girlfriend left me. I owe all this money for bills that I didn't foresee. My car was stolen. The list goes on and on with all the bad shit that's been going on since the curse was given. This coworker will not lift said curse. I have begged and begged her, and she just laughs in my face. I was thinking about going to my boss and telling him what's happening. Is it crazy to try to have my boss make her take the curse off of me, or is this going to make things worse? Boy, what a dilemma, huh?
Yeah, you get fired if you go to your boss with that. So I would not go to your boss.
And it could be real. Maybe it's not real, but let's say it is
He
real.
believes it's real. That's how it gets its power. he believes it.
So you don't believe a curse can be real? You think it's always a self-fulfilling prophecy? Always?
No, nothing in this world is absolute.
I love it.
But I think that in this case, they played a really good mind game with them, and it's working.
But what if someone tries to get all spiritual, try to do it right, and shit keeps on happening, especially after a curse? It's kind of like a Thinner. Stephen King's Thinner. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that movie.
Yes.
He hits somebody, they put a curse on him, he's overweight, they make him real thin to the point where, I don't want to spoil the movie, y'all, but it doesn't end good.
I mean, honestly, there's things... If you believe in the curse, that's negative energy. So there's things that he can do to block or reverse that negative energy.
Yeah,
the higher vibration he makes himself, the better he makes himself, it's going to start bouncing off of him and back onto her.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you believe that you're sick or you believe that something's wrong, you're going to feel that for real. I think it really steers you.
In the movie Thinner, the one person touches the guy and goes, Thinner, and it wasn't a self-fulfilling.
Well, so that was a, yeah.
Well, that's my question. Do y'all believe in that type of curse where it's not
it's like, boom, you're cursed.
Well, yeah, I go, oh, hair fucker. And then all of a sudden, Beckett's hair is falling out. He's got a legit thing going on there after a moment where someone curses him. Do we not believe that? Is that not so prevalent?
I personally, this is my personal opinion, I think that the person who is cursed has to buy into it in order for it to be successful. They have to believe that they're cursed.
Beckett?
Yeah. I tend to not believe in curses so much. I'm kind of with Vicki. I'm more on the energy, and I'm more on the side. I think it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Okay. Well, fuck that.
Meanwhile, a person's cursed.
It's all in your head, yeah. Don't worry about the warlock who just cursed your life.
I'll qualify it like this. I think that maybe I could put it like this. If you're strong and you have good energy, you almost can put a shield against a real curse.
All right, I like that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
it
Because
does.
I'm somewhere in the middle of it.
And I see what y'all are saying. I'm going on that Stephen King. Even if you're Tony Robbins, you're getting fucking... It's kind of like cancer to the spirit. Nothing you can do, that shit's going to happen. I want to know, how often does that happen? If anyone out there in Weirdo Land has got an experience where you feel like you've legit been cursed and it's not a self-fulfilling prophecy, we'd love to hear that story.
And the one thing he could do is to take kosher salt and put it in a gallon of purified water and pour it over his head. That will kind of clear his energy field and, see what happens after that.
And then take some honey, pour it in your eyes.
Should Bird do that too? Would that do anything for him?
He doesn't want to be...
I know he likes it,
spirit-free,
but
yeah.
Well, again, because I get hate, Vicki. Oh, why do you want to do this? Oh, every house you are haunted. Yeah, motherfuckers. I personally want to get this on camera, to get this on audio. I want all kind of proof. That is my goal. And if I have to set myself on fire to keep the weirdo world warm, so be it. Let's get some fucking evidence, y'all.
It's interesting.
But me and Vicki, we've come to Vicki
Yeah.
knows me.
yeah.
We're like Hall & Oates, baby.
I like it. I like
Lennon
it.
and McCartney. Or whatever duo you want to.
Listen, you mentioned Judy Blume. You could have as many ghosts as you want.
I like it.
It's always so nice to meet a Judy Blume enthusiast.
Oh,
So
yeah.
It's great.
I'll lend you my adult ones.
Denny,
I'll get in. I will. I'll watch it. I'll listen.
do you
or
think that's
read.
why they call it cursing? Because you're saying bad words?
probably. I
Probably.
bet you there's
Because
some sort of
I was always
etymology.
curious why they called it cursing.
Because you're saying something you shouldn't say, and a curse would be a bad thing.
There's
you
probably
shouldn't
some cool
say.
history.
I guarantee there's an etymology.
yeah.
behind
There's history behind all this shit.
Yeah.
I love learning about why things are the way they are, and it's crazy how some stuff still is around in modern day language
Yeah.
that's been around
So
for
old.
fucking ever, and then other stuff just goes away, and you wonder why some stuff has. I guess it's kind of like a hit song.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
has the staying power,
The
some
lasting.
doesn't.
Yeah, there you go. Fornication under consent of the king. Acronym. That's where it came from.
Oh.
Yep. Because I think it goes back to in Braveheart, Prima Nocte, where the Lord was able to
Yeah, to-
have sex the first night of the wedding So that's how it got associated.
So you're
with
saying
sex.
that the acronym became the word and then
Yeah,
became
yeah.
the act.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just became an overall act.
They do such a good job in Braveheart getting you all fired up.
Fired up.
In the beginning of the movie.
The
Yeah.
injustice.
The injustice, the guy's getting married, and here comes the fucking British coming
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there to take. Oh, it gets you so fired
So
up.
fired up.
Even though Braveheart is historically wrong and very inaccurate, I highly recommend, if you got revenge in your heart, watch that movie.
And
That's great.
Payback, same actor, Mel Gibson.
I love Payback.
great.
That's a great movie.
It is.
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
It is.
That's a good
It's
movie.
a Klingon quote, right?
Lucy losing that.
Yes. Yes, she is.
Dear Weird Whatever.
Ah.
Dear Weird Whatever. The other day I was listening to the Weird Whatever podcast from Wednesday. One of the people that wrote in the email was struggling with pornography. I don't think you were here for this, Vicki. This one guy, he was struggling with.
I don't even think we helped.
No. I think Becca told him to keep jerking off and watching. I think I'm not sure.
I forgot what we landed on. It was something like that.
Figures
though.
the week I'm out, you guys are doing porn.
Well,
I knew it was gonna happen.
it's more of a discussion about addictions. I think we all have an addiction. I think there's level. I have an addictive personality. If I like something, I want to keep doing it. And I know that about myself. But I do think everyone's got that side to them. I just think more people are on maybe more to the right or more to the left. I know that I have an addictive personality. Beckett, where are you at with addictions? Of any sort. It doesn't have to be drugs, even alcohol, or, although you can talk about that.
So I tend to go in sprints where I start something, whether it be drinking coffee or whatever the case may be. I was like, yeah, I got this. And the next thing you know, I'm drinking a pot a day, not even feeling the buzz anymore. And I need it. I need it in the morning. So in theory, I'm addicted. But then I'm pretty good at cold turkeying it. And you've had a discussion.
I'm very good at cold turkey.
Yeah.
I'm able to do that. But to go on, they say, I've had a similar problem about masturbating too much, because the one guy said his whole life was kind of really ruined. He's always watching porn 8 times a day, I think it
No,
was.
it's excessive.
Constantly masturbating. And he knows that it's a problem. And I get quite a bit of emails about that type of problem, because I think we might have talked about it before. So this person said, I had a similar problem, and the one thing that really helped me was something called, I think it says celebrate recovery, but I think it means celibate.
Celibacy?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a typo. It could be celebrate recovery. I don't know.
Yeah, which means you just reward yourself after you do certain things.
Okay.
And that's like the reward.
It is a 12-step program that really helps. It helps people that are struggling with different hang-ups. It's a 1-year program, but really works. It's available at some churches, but not judging at all, and helps real people. I did finish the program, and it's made a difference. And I think for you, that worked for you. Now, somebody's going to hear the word church and automatically go, I don't want nothing to do with it. I think there's many ways to help yourself. And
Yeah.
what helps a Beckett may not help a Denny's.
Well, that's
Or
kind of
it-
what you're doing when you're masturbating.
Self-help.
For sure.
Yeah, anytime after 4 times, you're doing it too much.
For sure. So the 3 is fine?
What's that?
The first 3 is fine?
I'm just
He
making,
was-
I'm making a joke. 3's probably. I mean, if you're masturbating 3 times a day, and I'm not judging, but that's 21 times a week. That's a healthy masturbation schedule.
That's a 21-gun salute.
It could be a shift at a job.
Audience, what is it? 21 masturbations? Is that a lot? That's a lot. All right, that's a lot.
Yeah, get some work done every now and then.
That's a single man's
Get
game. right there.
a job.
There's no way you have a family and a wife
Well,
if
no.
you got
Not anymore.
20. Yeah. It's very good. I do want to bring in our guest audience, Joe Ponton. Now, we've talked to Joe before. Joe, as a kid, found a dead body, which I'm sure was very traumatizing. And then recently, as of the last year, found another dead body in Juno Beach. And then recently, he found what he thought was a human vertebrae.
Ooh.
He sends me a picture. Bird, I think I found a human vertebrae. I just called the cops. They're on their way. Now, Mr. Ponton, let's go back to when you were a kid real quick. When you...
There's a picture of the vertebrae. There's a picture of the vertebrae right there. I don't know if it's in the screen. I can't
Yeah,
see it.
we'll get to all that. We'll get to all that. I want to paint this picture. Sure. Let's really get some foreplay here. Let's get
Sorry.
let's get hot and bothered.
A little fluff.
I'll slow it down.
Joe Ponton, little kid, how old?
I think I was 10, maybe almost 11.
Okay.
It was February, March, April of 84.
Instantly, you know it's a dead body. It takes you a minute.
Clear as crystal.
Really? You saw the face?
The hair was, so it was in a culvert, and she was washed up against the hole, the opening in the culvert, and so the water was blowing through, so her hair was covering her face. So you could just see long blonde hair and a woman tied to a chair.
And the wind was blowing the hair?
Well, the water was moving the hair because the water was flowing through the water, or through the culvert.
How horrifying is that? As a 10 years old?
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Now, when you find something like that, what happens to a 10-year-old? Do you have a tough time sleeping? Does your grades start to suffer, or is it business as usual?
Never the best student.
I hear you, brother.
No.
Vicki, no judgment.
Nothing against teachers. I've had problems with sleep forever. My mom left when I was 6. I don't want to go into anything like that, but
No, it's Friday. Let's go to that.
I've had sleep issues for my entire life. I mean, I go to bed around midnight and I'm up at 3:57 every single morning. It's clockwork.
Yeah.
It fucked with my head a lot. I would have nightmares. I had night terrors. I still sometimes suffer from vertigo. And all
Now,
of that, I think, was
do you think the vertigo is from that?
I don't know if it came from that, but there's so much mental shit going on. You know this as well.
Or did you just have that OAN? Old ass neck.
Old ass neck. No.
Yeah, that can give you vertigo. Vertigo, it can.
Yeah.
The doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just suffered about the other day. So.
Did you? Yeah. So now, when you find the next dead body, you are how old? How many years later?
Oh, well, this was Friday the 13th of last year.
I mean, Beckett, can you write this any fucking creepier?
I've replayed that night or that morning. I got there right at 5 o'clock in the morning. We have mutual friends that are friends with this individual.
Me and you.
Yes.
Yes.
And he had sent 18 text messages to friends saying that he was going to do this.
No, this is a suicide situation.
This was the suicide situation. My understanding from family members was he had rehab paid for, and he was going to be going there the next morning. And I hope I'm not disrespecting by telling the story that I know. He had set himself up at Beach Access Point 38. There was a turtle nesting literally as close as I am to Vicki from where he had positioned himself when he took the drugs to overdose. He said he was going to shoot himself, but I was standing over his body talking to 911. He overdosed. He had positioned himself right at sunrise, and the turtle was just to his left. And it was almost a peaceful how he was laying, but it was just, he was already, this was an hour and a half later, and he was already, you could see that he had passed. Head was open.
Sure.
It was.
Yeah.
That has stayed with me quite a bit. Every day I walk down there, I go to the beach almost every single day, and I go almost to that point.
I'll tell you one thing. If you are going to walk around the beach early in the morning, you're going to find some fucking weird shit. There's always something in the sky, something peering out in the water. I mean, it's... I think the beach also is some kind of a spiritual cathedral for a lot of people. I know... I wouldn't mind, if I was to pass away, I wouldn't mind going to the woods or the beach. If I had to... if I knew I was going to go ahead and, these were my last days,
right,
that's where I would want to do that at. Now let's fast forward to this vertebrae. The vertebrae, and I want to talk about the process, because I know you had gotten the vertebrae, you governed the police, and they said it was not human, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, I thought it was more interesting, the process. The fact that they won't give it back to you. You found the vertebrae or whatever it was. It looked like a vertebrae. Now, if you don't mind, now show what this is, and I'm gonna have Vicki describe it to the audience. If you don't mind showing that to Vicki too.
It's clearly a vertebrae, whether it's a vertebrae from a human or an animal. I used to work at the Johnson & Johnson Cadaver Lab, and I've worked with skeletons before. That is a vertebrae of something. And it looks very human. And ironically, when I was speaking to the police officer, there was a lady who was walking up from the beach, and she said about 100 yards south, there was another one looked just like it.
I think the thing I think is weird is it's not human. It's not a human vertebrae, but they won't give it back to Ponton, and I wonder why that is. Go ahead, Vicki.
Did you take a picture well enough, because I'm not sure with that one because you can see your hand, to do the Google reverse image search to see if it matches with a human one? Maybe they're lying to you.
That is the only photo that I took. and it sucks because I was going to do a live video and kind of spin it in my hand, and I was like, this just feels weird. I mean, I've found weird shit on the beach before, but that was pretty weird.
Go ahead and post that or put that up on the camera, please, Pontonzi. Vicki, you think that
I'm gonna reach out to a couple people that I know that work in law enforcement and ask them.
You think it looks like a human vertebrae?
I'm not an expert on bones at all, but it is suspicious that they kept it.
Well, the medical examiner was testing it, and that was when I said, well, I'd love to have it back. And he said, well, you're definitely not getting it back, but they don't.
But that could be protocol, though. Maybe anything.
Well, that's what I'm going to talk to people and see.
Because, I mean, maybe once you I don't know, they mark it as an investigation.
And it looks
It is
old.
odd, though. It's odd.
Yeah.
Maybe
odd.
there's somebody in the chat room. If you're in law enforcement and you're hearing this story, is that protocol if you just give anything to the police? Because it is suspect. What if you really love that piece and you want to put that on your shelf?
Yeah. I was going to bring it here and put it in your backyard.
Yeah, if you push the issue, could you get that back?
I'd like to. I'm actually going to find out. I know Officer Kelly and Officer Mike, the two people that I had been speaking with previously.
I've known people
Ponton
who
loves
have,
to give all the
who have-
details out.
I've known people who have found bones in their yard, and they turned it over to authorities to see if they were human or if they were animal, and they were given the bones back when they turned out to be animal.
I didn't understand either why medical examiner refused to give it back.
This kind of seems like a 1980s movie. We got to investigate. Well, Ponton, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
Great stuff, brother. Great stuff. Thank you for being our guest. Man, Becky, 2 bodies. Ponton wants to find a 3rd body. It's probably going to be me.
You'd be floating in the water.
That 3rd body, that's where you get that book deal.
I'm ready for it.
I think we all know that. Yes, weirdos, if you got any kind of questions, you got any kind of stuff. Now, Vicki, people always want to know how they can get a hold of you. If you want a reading, if you want a ghost investigation, what do we do? How do we get a hold of you, Vicki?
Okay, so people who have been on the Point website, it does have an email address that is not the correct one right now. You need to send your emails to Nancy, Nancy, 38 Drew, Drew, at AOL.com, and that is for paranormal issues and if you want to schedule a reading.
I love it. We're going to end with this weird kind of a, I don't know, it's such a controversial topic, Becca. I feel like you would have some comments on this. The title of the email is, Why Are Foot Fetish Men So Creepy? Dear weird, whatever, I've dated 3 guys now who've had foot fetishes, and they all turned out to be major perverts. I'm not saying that all foot guys are like this, but what the fuck? What's up with dudes who love feet? Are they all screwed in the mind? And then it's so funny. When I got that email, there was this clip. I don't know if you guys know who this actress is. Hillary Burton from One Tree Hill. If you don't mind, sweet Denny's, play this clip. She's this famous actress, and she said that she was afraid to show her feet because of this shit.
I had a big conflict with this scene. Billy wanted to do the sex scene starting on our feet and like our legs rubbing together and like coming up our bodies. And I just really felt like that was way too adult. Also, I had been getting prison mail since I was on MTV. And there was like a couple dudes in particular that were like, I'm going to cut your feet off and put them in my refrigerator. Very specific letters. God. I had a thing about my feet on TV. I would always try to like hide my feet because I was just like, I don't want them to think I'm baiting them.
It's odd. Serial killers, a lot of them go towards the feet, Vicki. And maybe it's, I think for some reason, it's a sexual thing for some people. Women, men, it doesn't matter. I think it's an erogenous zone for some people. Some people hate it. Some people love it. I love my feet touched. Some people love to, not even in a sexual way. I just like to get a massage or a whatever. Some people, they can't even have someone look at their feet. Why do you think creepos are so drawn to the feet, Vicki?
Maybe it's an easy trophy for them. Just hack it off and take it with them.
There's also something dirty about the feet. I think that some serial killers are drawn to the dirtiness of it, Denny's. And you've talked about feet sometimes being a spiritual sense. Some people really take care of their ankle health, their feet.
They say the feet, it holds a lot of pressure points for your entire body. There's a lot of, I mean, even in the army, they always say keep your feet healthy. You should always keep your feet and hands. I mean, the extremities healthy.
If you had to be a serial killer profile, they go, all right, Detective Denny's, why do serial killers they go after the feet? They're so obsessed with the feet. What would be your kind of
it's tough.
analysis?
Because, yeah, I mean, even on a non-serial killer level, why is there an attraction to feet, opposed to hands? Why isn't there a hand
Yeah, some people
fetish?
do OnlyFans for feet.
Oh, that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
yeah, why aren't there hand fetishes or like?
And I think there
ear
is,
fetishes?
Denny's, to your point, but it's not even close.
not as popular.
Foot
No
fetish
way.
is a topic people bring up. So I mean, it's
I'll
definitely a way bigger.
I'll have dudes just randomly email me, what do Virginia's feet look like? I mean, the foot fetish does bring out a creepy element, but I also don't think if you have a foot thing, you're not necessarily creepy.
Yeah,
I
for
just think
sure.
it can make, I don't know, creepy fuckers like feet.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I dated a Pisces after high school, and they say Pisces have a foot fetish. Anyway, so there was a few of us, and we lined up, and I won the foot contest. It was a very proud moment.
Wait, what now happened? What
He
weird
was
fucking
like
parties?
judging my friend's feet
Oh
or whatever.
my
I was part of it, and I won the contest.
Nice.
This guy was in
man.
Just saying.
foot heaven. Oh, was he a foot fetish guy? Clearly.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think some people are just wired to like
Give me that arch.
like certain things for certain reason. I'm attracted to light eyes and really nice butts, and I cannot lie. But some of my buddies are boob guys. I'm more of a butt guy, and I think, but that probably ties into biology and fertility of the partner and the mate. But that doesn't play into feet, so I don't understand.
I'm a big believer that, especially when it comes to the specific kinks or fetishes, and we're talking someone likes their hair pulled, which is on the lighter side, to I want to jack off on your feet. There's levels of all that. I personally think that gets developed through your developmental years,
100%.
growing up. You don't even realize what's happening, and I think you're a human. You got all this
Develop
chemistry going.
fixations.
Yeah, all this chemistry going on. You're still being cooked, so to speak.
Yeah.
And something while you are having horny feelings just ties in. It's the perfect storm.
Right.
I don't know.
No, I
That's
agree
just
with
my
that.
theory.
No, I agree
though.
with that.
Yeah, it's weird.
And
it's weird what we
this
fixate
just
on.
in, I got a text. Mr. Ponton, send me the picture of that. I have someone who has a connection who's an anthropologist.
Ponton!
Ah, nice.
Ponton making shit happen. He's just been hired as the weird whatever roving reporter. Congratulations, kid.
that'd be great.
You get paid in Hot Pockets and in pound cake.
And croissants.
And croissant bread
Bread,
grilled cheese.
yeah.
Croissant. Hazelnut croissant.
Oh, we got snacks galore, you son of a bitches. It's gonna be fun.
I brought some salted caramel chocolates.
Oh, there you go.
We all can just celebrate after. I do want to end on some whale dick. There is there was an email. Someone said, "Bird, have you heard about the whale dick theory? Sailors back in the day thought they saw sea monsters, but realistically, it was just the whale dick they would see." And there's I'm gonna have Sweet Denny's pull it up on our.
Pull it out.
It looks just like the Loch Ness
Pull it out.
Well, it's weird. It looks like a pink Loch Ness monster.
Here, I'll pull up a photo for them.
And think about it. It's the 1400s. You're out in the sea and you see a whale dick, but you think it's a hot ass mermaid trying to get down. They didn't have TikTok back then, Becky.
San Diego. Oh, jeez.
So look at Vicki. Yeah,
I
They
could
bring it
see
out.
What that would be mistaken.
I didn't know I was going to see a dick pic when I came on the show.
Sweet Denny's. Are
It's
you
a sperm whale.
are you showing that on the computer, or do you mind showing that to the
Oh,
good
sorry,
people?
the
Oh,
people
it's great.
streaming can
Love
see
it.
it.
You're the man. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, it looks just like a pink Loch Ness monster.
Sure does.
You guys do know the original Loch Ness monster was a hoax, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of sucks. Although I still believe in prehistoric dinosaur snakes living out in water.
No, for sure.
Nessie, the idea of Nessie could be real.
Absolutely.
To me, that's more real than a Bigfoot. Someone said, I don't listen to the Weird Whatever podcast because I don't want to hear Jaybird talk about Bigfoot for an hour. We rarely talk about Bigfoot. When do we ever talk about Bigfoot?
Very seldom.
Yeah, I mean,
Beckett, give me something about Bigfoot.
Does that mean you have a foot fetish?
I like feet.
If you're into
You got a
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
I like feet in a non-creepy way. Says every creepy person. I swear I'm not
I don't
creepy.
cross the line with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, y'all, we had a great time hanging out with you on a Friday. Mr. Ponton, thank you very much for your talents. Vicki, Beckett, Sweet Denny's. Vicki, if you want to get a hold of you, it is again.
It's Nancy38Drew at AOL.com.
We're going to end the podcast with some original music. Beckett, you played Your Friend last week. Got a lot of great compliments on
Oh,
that.
cool.
Both songs, both weeks, a lot of people are enjoying the original music. And this week, I want to make sure I don't fuck this up for this kind fella. We're going to play Ignite by Ryan Bach. Kind of like a Ryan Bucket. Yeah, this is called Ignite by Ryan Bach. Thank you for sending this in. This is an original song. You guys have a great weekend. We love you all. Bigfoot is real.
Was it champagne or whiskey that made us tipsy on that random Tuesday night? Was it hope or heartbreak that made our bones shake when we caught each other's eyes? Was it fear or adrenaline that made us dive in head first this time? What did we ignite? What did we ignite with those sparks that night? Walking down the beach in the summer sun, kicking up the sand, just having a little fun. The radio was blasting, waves came in crashing, sun beating down on us. Was it champagne or whiskey that made us tipsy on that random Tuesday night? Was it hope or heartbreak that made our bones shake when we caught each other's eyes? Was it fear or adrenaline that made us dive in head first this time? What did we ignite? What did we ignite with those sparks that night? Memories of today got me thinking about tonight. I can't get you out of my mind. Fiery sunset, hearts aligned. Take a leap, now is the time. Oh, let's ignite our lives. Was it champagne or whiskey that made us tipsy on that random Tuesday night?